For the past 6.5 years, Paula and Gavin have traveled the U.S. to investigate the mysterious, the unknown, and the paranormal. They were always outsiders, only able to experience events through their own eyes. On their next journey, they joined forces with 6 investigative paranormal teams across the country to explore their local legends side by side. Join us as we learn the stories, meet the teams, and gather the evidence to determine if these tales are true or legend.
So this building was first built in 1892 by Julius Steinberg for about $6,000. It was built as the Steinberg's Grand Opera House at first until about 1985. Then it was restored and redesigned and renamed as the Traverse City Opera House. In about 1920s or so, the booming of the movie industry actually busted out the City Opera House, and the movie company bought out the Opera House here. And it was shut down, and it was more locally owned, more for businesses and stuff, but in 1985 it was fully restored, and then that started going on for about 30 years until 2005 till it was fully done, and then it was reopened as the Traverse City Opera House. There were limited movie showings when it first opened, and that's also why the movie industry was very hesitant about it being here. More plays, there were some games, more city-oriented events happened here. So it was more just about less opera, but more about plays and everything. The biggest one here is that there has been a woman in white. She is known to be walking across the balconies on the 3rd floor, but she can be seen throughout the whole building. And there's also a little girl who has been seen, both apparitions. There has been shadow figures, ghosts, or shadow figures, orbs. People have been touched. We've heard disembodied voices, more about general haunting. My personal experience would actually be in the main lobby here. I was staring at the mirror right behind the bar, and I was just looking into it, just kind of getting a general picture and the idea of the room, and I started seeing a shadow figure behind me. It was standing at one of the posts where the little tables are, and it was just kind of leaning on the table. And I had someone else in the room with me, and I asked her, "Do you see that?" And she said, yes, I do. And we asked it to start moving, and it started walking toward us. And then once it kind of started getting right behind me, I started feeling really cold, and I got a really, like a really cold feeling in my body. And then all of a sudden it disappeared. We're not sure what it was, but that's my personal experience.
I can't tell you the times and everything is of that, but there's a hallway in the next room here, and I walked into the kitchen area, and we had a motion alarm set. As many times as we've debunked it, I've counted it. 15 seconds later, after I walked out of the room, our motion alarm went off, and it was signaled off, and there's no explanation as of why that motion alarm would go off, because if I tripped it, it would have went off 5 seconds later, no 15 seconds. We counted it. It's not chirping anymore, see? It took that amount of time to get out there and come back in here, and it's not chirping. Neither is my, they're both quiet. So it was pretty unusual when that happened, and it really was crazy, and it really freaked me out. That happened. That was the first time that's ever happened with me, an emotion alarm, and it was one of the most eye-opening experiences in my career. It wasn't doing this before, was it? I've been in this field for 10 years now, and 5 practically, and in the 5 years I've been in this practically, I've never had experiences of that. Whatever it was making the EMF meter go off. Well, the shadow figure that Jamie captured on video, and that's completely unexplainable because we're all in this room here.
Oh my God, we're trying to debunk the shadow. I just saw when I was sitting upon the
You are
stairs.
this way, the shadow is with you, it's not you.
I just gotta chill. Where everybody is standing at, and all the voices of us are in here. Well, we're downstairs. We're downstairs in the second floor. My bad. We're down on the second floor downstairs, and we're all in that one little area behind Jamie. And Jamie captured a shadow figure on the second floor stairwell, heading up to the third floor area. We just got footage of two shadow figures walking up the stairs up there. Nobody was up there. Where we're standing at is the third floor right now, and it was in the stairwell here, and thinking it's a lady in white, and that's pretty unexplainable too. It's the first time I've ever seen shadow figure captured in video.
Okay, so I was sitting in the main hallway outside the lobby, and everybody else was downstairs on the first floor. And the door to my immediate behind me just started opening. So I came in to see if I could figure out, if there was something there, and I couldn't explain it. And in the same location, I had the grid light going, and nobody's around. There's no lighting or anything going on. And something walked through my grid light and kept going like back and forth through my grid light. And then I did feel somebody brush past me as I'm sitting out there because I got on the floor to play with a little girl, and something brushed past me. And besides the shadow figure, those are my experiences.
When we first got here, me and Zach were up in the balcony setting up some equipment, and we had one of our EMF meters running, and all of a sudden it just started spiking. I grabbed one of our GoPros, turned it on, started recording him and the EMF, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just hear a heavy right next to me. It was like unexplainable, like no one else was up there. Everyone else was down on, I think, still on the bottom, the first floor. And yeah.
Well, here we are in Traverse City, Michigan, at the famous Opera House. And I believe you guys investigated here how long ago?
September 21st.
September 21st. Okay. And did you guys get a lot of evidence?
Oh yeah, did we ever?
Yeah.
Too much.
Okay. So let's see, I have 3 EVPs. And before we even play them, where did you capture the 3 EVPs? Are they all in the same spot or different places?
The EVPs are all taken out in the main hallway here in
Okay.
front of the auditorium.
Okay.
Which would be on your second floor.
Yes.
Second floor. Okay. First one is labeled water drip. And I'm going to go ahead and play it. I may have to amplify it up just a little bit.
Very beautiful place.
It's that.
Very beautiful place. Very beautiful place. Very beautiful place.
Sounds like someone walking with wet shoes too.
Yeah, like squeaky shoe.
Let me play it again.
Very beautiful place. That was the one
Very
doing
beautiful
the
place.
I'm going to play it a little more.
Very beautiful place. Created. Very beautiful place.
I'll play the whole thing.
Steinberg, we'd like to talk to you about this spectacular building of yours. that you
Wait a minute, I heard
created.
it. I heard it
Oh.
again. I heard it again.
Oh, yeah, with it amplified.
There's 2 of them.
Mr. Steinberg, we'd like to talk to you about this
There
spectacular
it is.
building of
It's
yours
all
that you created.
And right
Very
there.
beautiful place.
There's 2 of them.
Steinberg, we'd like to talk to you about this spectacular
There's 2
building
of
of
them.
yours that you created. Very beautiful place.
Okay.
Actually, that EVP with me was right where we're sitting at right now.
On stage.
I'm on stage right here.
Okay.
And that's where I was told to get off the stage with the swear words.
Yeah, you were told to get off the stage?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, next one is a ball dribble. So as like a basketball?
I don't know what kind of ball.
Oh, let's listen to it, see what it sounds like. Also sounds like turning on one of those old cassette players or turning it off, you know?
A record?
It actually sounds like one of those old tape recorders, you know, when you push play and record at the same time, but when you want to stop it, they pop.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
But your recorder will actually add more bass to it, depending how far this recorder was. I mean, where was this one recorded at? Second floor?
Right here on second floor out in the lobby. Yep.
Okay.
And the recorder was probably, I don't know, like where I'm sitting at a table and it's probably sitting like at the edge of the table.
This is like right next to the recorder too.
Yeah, right
like,
on the mic.
Yeah.
And there was a little girl and a woman, a lady in white.
That's the reason why you're getting all that bass to it, because it's like right next to it. And we got another one.
There's a lot going on in this
And
one.
this one, we've all been trying to figure out. You think it
I'm
says...
saying it says, say goodnight, Lana, or something to that effect.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Run. Good night, Lana. We could knock like this. Run. Good night, Lana. We could knock like this. Run.
I hear something.
You hear
else.
something moving.
Yeah, there's
We
something
could knock
moving, too.
In the
like
front.
this. Run.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Good night, Lana. We could knock like this. Run.
Yeah, something right
Good
there.
night, Lana. We could knock
There-
like this.
It sounds like there's two voices and they're overlapping.
And they're overlapping each other, yes.
One is a male, and then the other one, it sounds like it's a female.
Run. Good night, Lana.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
female and a
Somebody's
male.
talking at the same time, and they're trying to,
They're overlapping.
yeah.
Could knock like this. Run. Good night, Lana.
Yeah.
We could knock like
That's
this.
weird.
Run. Good night, Lana. We could knock
Wait a minute,
like
there's
this. Run. Good night, Lana.
There's
We could
three.
knock like.
There's three voices.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't have that system where you can differentiate the different sounds in there.
Yeah.
That's at home on the big computer.
Well, the only other thing is looking at this right here, I think it is.
Good night, Lana. Good night, Lana. Good night, Lana. Good night, Lana.
Yeah, it like stops.
Three.
And then it goes,
Three.
Yep.
Good night, Lana.
You can see the yellow line kind of stop and then bounce.
Good night, Lana.
Yeah.
Good night, Lana.
Now, does that sound like what you said?
Well, I still hear the goodnight Lana.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
still can't. I want to say it's say, but I'm not too sure what the front word is. But I hear the goodnight Lana part, but there's something before it.
Sure it's not have a good night, Lana? I thought it said have a good night.
That's when the other voice kind of starts. Is,
Yeah.
So I hear the goodnight Lana really
It's
well.
like, yeah, that first word that's where it's overlapping with each
Yeah.
other.
I want to know what the first one is.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know. It doesn't make any sense.
It sounds like fingernail.
yeah.
Well, I'm thinking speaker, but when I first heard it, I heard speaker. I thought I heard the word speaker.
No, it's fingernail. Good night, Lana.
Yeah.
I don't know what fingernail means. But that's what it sounds like.
Good night, Lana.
See?
Good night, Lana.
Oh, they had that first.
Good night, Lana.
There's,
Yeah.
undescribable first word.
Yeah.
That's what I leave it as. An undescribable first word.
Indescribable.
Yeah, no kidding. And we have a video taken up on the second floor stairs.
I was sitting on the second floor stairs, and I was like sitting at the bottom like this with my phone up towards the third floor, which is the balcony above us right now. And there's a railing that comes across just like every floor, and I was aiming it like up the staircase. And while I'm sitting there by myself, these guys are like back in the dressing room here behind the stage.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
coverage of the steps.
There's one right there.
Yep.
I'm just getting
There's
video.
two.
Oh, who's up at the top of
And
the
I
steps?
see the one at the staircase at the top.
Just got
I
a
just saw it.
full-blown freaking shadow
Right
on
past
video.
it, goes right past the light.
Yeah, it goes past the light. I saw it.
You see three.
I don't see the first two because I see a
Oh, no,
dark
it's right
screen
there.
back
Watch.
here.
You'll see one right here.
I don't know.
I see a dark screen.
Watch.
I don't know. I've been doing coverage of the steps.
Right there is the first one.
He doesn't seem to get
I'm
it.
just
Okay.
getting
There's a
video.
second one.
Oh, who's up at the top of the steps?
There's a third one.
Just got
Right
a
here.
full-blown
Third one
freaking
goes
shadow
across
on
the
video.
window.
Yeah, see, there's a third one.
Huh?
So there's three shadows you
Yeah.
captured all at once. Watch. There's one.
I'm just getting
Two.
video. Oh, who's up at the top of the steps?
And then the third one goes
Just
past
got
the
a
window.
full-blown freaking shadow on
Well,
video.
no, that was moving the camera
Huh?
toward that direction. It's just kind
Yeah. It just walked. This is.
Let me see. I saw. I can't blow it. Well, I could break it down. Gotta figure out how.
I'm right here. I don't know. I've been doing coverage of the steps.
One.
I'm just getting
Two.
video. Oh.
That one
who's
walked
up at the top
down.
of the
Yeah.
steps?
It started walking down towards you.
Just got a full-blown freaking shadow on video. Huh?
Yeah, it's two.
It just walked.
I thought it was
That's
three.
why I've just been sitting here chilling. Yeah, I heard you guys.
Wow.
Yeah. So we tried to reenact it too.
Yep.
Like we tried to walk
tried.
down the second floor to see if, but the only way we could pick up that shadow is if somebody walked across the railing on the third floor.
Our saving grace was that
Exit sign.
exit light.
For my lighting.
Because she didn't have any lighting with her.
Right.
Me and Zach and Jake had the lighting system, and that was creating her natural light. And she didn't have any flash on or anything. You've seen that. That's incredible.
All right, well, you guys can deliberate among yourselves and come up with a decision that if this opera house is actually haunted, you go ahead and stamp it with the black stamp for true. And if you believe it's based on a legend, then you stamp it with the red one for legend.
Alrighty. There you go, Zach. Why don't you take the honors?
I believe we all are in agreement. True.
Well, this building was built in 1979. We were originally in Heritage Hall, which is next door. It's the old Carnegie building. It's one of the first Carnegie libraries that was established in Alabama. It's a beautiful building, but we just outgrew it, so we had to build this one in 1979, and our building kind of wraps around the old library. We do believe that with the war having gone on here in Talladega, the Battle of Talladega, that we believe that maybe several soldiers or Indians maybe came into these woods and were killed here or buried in this section. They've recently discovered that actually the battle was closer to this side of Talladega than they originally thought. So we believe that that is what is going on, is that there's, there may be some Indians or war people that were, murdered on this land or buried here. Well, it started when I came back to the library in 2009. The first day that I walked in this building, I heard a party going on in the meeting room in the back of the library. And I thought it, as it's the Friends of the Library meeting, they're having a meet and greet or something. So I just went on by, didn't pay any attention. And I noticed it was happening several times. And then one day I parked my car and there was hardly any other vehicles in our parking lot. So I knew that there were not many people in this library, and I walked in and the party was still going on. You could hear glasses clinking together, people laughing, music. It sounded like they were having the best time. I walked by and I thought, well, where did they park? Let me see who these people are. So I tried to look in the door, and there was nobody in the meeting room or children's room. The room was dark. In fact, there were no lights on. And the music stopped. But it has gone on several times since. I do have filing books, and one person was walking by a bookshelf one day, and a book did fly out and hit the floor close to them. And we have had books, yes, we do have books fly off the shelf. We've had that happen. There's nothing to cause them to do this, but they do fly off. We had a statue, a Winchester statue, that was donated to the library. Henry Welcher donated, he had several, and he donated one to every library in the county and to the schools. So the night that after it was donated, I was in my office finishing some state paperwork. I was here by myself. Everybody else had gone home, and I was trying to get this paperwork in before midnight. It was a deadline, of course. And all of a sudden, down the hall, which is a brick hall beside my office, I hear dun, da, 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 down the hall. And I'm like, what in the world is that awful noise? And I think, that sounds just like a book cart. I'm like, who is here after hours putting up books? So I looked out my office door. Nobody was there. All the book carts were still where they were supposed to be. And I thought, what is that sound? And then I closed my door, and there it went again, da, 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 down the hall. I said, what? It was a terrible racket. I could not figure it out. Well, a little bit later, I was scared to death, of course. A little bit later, our janitor came in, and I said, oh, it was him with that mop bucket. But why was he going so fast with a mop bucket down the hall? So I asked him, I said, have you been here long? And he said, no, I just got here, Miss Vicki. And I thought, well, I said, you didn't come in and was going down the hall? No. And unfortunately, that was before we had our cameras. Or I could have looked and saw what it was. But it sounded just like that horse was going up and down the hall that night. And I believe that is what happened. It was the horse. That's exactly what it sounded like.
Well, it's really interesting because I've always heard that this Talladega Library was haunted ever since I was a child. And I knew it had been on several television news stations and things like that about the hauntings here. So I had to come and check it out myself. So we came here and we did an investigation. And I'm going to say the thing that we had heard a lot about were the shadow people. That there were shadow people that would walk or just kind of be behind people. They would catch glimpses of shadow people along the bookcases and things like that. And when we were here, we actually caught in our pictures and our video a shadow person, and you can see it. You can see it between the bookshelves and as it rises through the ceiling.
I've had a couple experiences here, but the two that I'm going to talk about is over in the fiction section. I was recording with my camera, and I actually had a bag around my shoulders that had our equipment in it, and that bag got yanked on like it was a little kid yanking on its mom's purse. A separate time is me and my mom were walking from the geology room down that long hallway coming back to the station up front, and I heard something whisper my name, and I turned around to my mom, and I was like, did you just whisper my name? And she's like, no, and there's nobody else in that hallway but us two.
Well, we've been here several times, so I have a lot of experiences, but I think the one that is most memorable for me is an experience we had in what they have labeled as the children's room. It has a piano in it. And on one of our investigations here, we've done several, but one of them we got some really incredible evidence because we were using the spirit box and we were using Boo Bear, and we were all around the piano. There was no one sitting at the piano or touching the piano keys at all. But we were running a spirit box session, and we were getting absolutely no radio interference. So it was just clear responses coming through. And we asked, we were in the children's room, and we determined we had a child sitting at the piano actually playing the piano for us. You could actually hear piano keys dinging over the spirit box. We asked if he liked to play the piano for us, and he said amazing. And we asked how old he was, and a few minutes later, or a few seconds later, the number 5 came through. And the last most response that we got from him when we asked what his favorite song was Twinkle, Twinkle. And at the time Twinkle, Twinkle came across, you heard the piano keys ding again coming across the spirit box. So that was one of those moments where you're like, wow, but that was one of the most memorable things here for me.
Well, I guess the most memorable for me is real easy because it just happened a few minutes ago. We went back to visit the piano that Tam was talking about, and we set up the REM pods and the Boo Buddy and everything to see if we could, get some same results. Well, this time, rather than using a spirit box, the child communicated through the REM pod. Instead of making it go off continuously, you could hear the dings, them ding, 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 like he was trying to play maybe Twinkle, Twinkle or a tune for us over the actual REM pod. So, and that was since we've been here.
All right, here we are at the Talladega Library, or as other people call it, Talladega. And you guys investigated here how long ago?
A year ago.
A year ago.
And 6 months ago. And just very recently. So
like 20 minutes ago.
Yes, we have investigated 3 times here.
We have to visit our children every time we come.
It's one of our favorite places to visit. Yes, the children.
Okay. And you guys got a lot of evidence from this library?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. You got videos, photos, and EVPs?
Yes, we do.
All right. Well, let's take a look here.
This was actually an orb.
Okay.
Lauren had said earlier that she had gotten tugged. She was in the fiction section. And you hear her go bag on that, like her bag got pulled. Right. And then right after that, this orb came out of the fiction area. So this is just a short clip.
It felt like a child tugging like a mom's
Right.
purse because it was wrapped around my shoulder.
Okay.
It's like a child tugging my bag.
So we see the orb going through the
You
laser
can,
grid?
yes, but it's at the very beginning.
We've already passed it?
It's already been passed.
It's at the very beginning.
Right at the beginning, okay.
There it
Oh, I
goes.
see it.
I've seen it.
I just saw the orb.
And what is this one?
Well, these are 2 photos that were captured by our team. There is a legend of the Shadow Man that is here at the library. Many people have seen the shadow person crawling on the floor and between the bookshelves. We actually, during the investigation, we're taking a lot of photos, and we did get 2 that looks like the shadow person did appear. The next photo after that one, you can see that it has risen, like it is leaving.
Well, you can definitely see.
There was nothing in front of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't be our shadow. There was nothing behind it.
Well,
there was nobody there.
You're too far away for it to even be you guys.
That big
I think
area.
this one is the actual surveillance from the library.
Yes, this is on
Security
the
footage?
surveillance. Security footage here at the library. No one was here. It was after hours. And a book falls out of the...
From nowhere.
Are the lights on all the time?
There are security lights in
Okay.
here. This place doesn't go completely dark.
Still cool though. See what this is. Looks like we have candle. Candle in the window.
Okay, that's our favorite one.
That's
This is the
it.
piano.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you like playing on this piano here?
Amazing.
Amazing. Did y'all feel the piano shaking?
I also felt it shake.
To me, it was like you and Frida Do you like our new bunny bear that we brought you tonight?
He's lighting it red.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how old you are? 5.
It was so clear.
And look, this is lighting up. Yeah, that sounded like music. It sounded like piano. So do you like playing the piano? Look how this is really going on. Look at the red. It just said yes. What's your favorite song to play on the piano?
And piano keys. Did you hear the piano?
It's like twinkle.
Nobody is sitting at that
Are you
piano.
playing the piano for us?
Wow.
This is incredible. You're so good at this. Get it out. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm going to get it out.
That was pretty much it after he said twinkle, twinkle, and you hear the piano keys come across the spirit box. It was so clear. There was no radio interference in that.
Just wanted the SLS camera.
He's at the piano. He's at the piano, guys. Honestly, look. He's at the piano. Now he went away when she touched. Well, see, it'll show.
He said no.
Then you come back and play the piano again?
So we did catch something with the SLS camera
At the very beginning.
at the very beginning.
But he didn't come back.
I don't know if he came back or not on this one.
We have another SLS.
That was,
Dancing.
that was in the front of the library by the bookshelf.
I'm late in extra anyway.
Watch his arm again.
It is
Just get a book out of the book.
So he's doing the one.
Maybe he is looking at books. I mean,
That's what that arm looks like.
So we're
like
going to
he's
go
reaching for
here
the book.
and
Yeah.
look at some other.
Okay, this one.
this was the child grabbing her leg.
If you'll see, there's an anomaly. But
Can you
it's,
give her a hug?
this is where it was hurting my legs. It was grabbing so hard I had 2 bruises right here.
Huh.
You're making her very tired.
That's aimed high,
Before she has
right?
to sit down.
I don't know. Tabitha had you had the camera. I just know what I was feeling, and it was draining me. I'm very empath, I'm an empath, and it was just draining and hurting my legs so badly.
But say yes.
He's bowing.
I've gotta go. I've gotta go home.
Oh, it's doing the.
Is it tabbing?
You see it? He did it.
Oh, wow. It's holding to her shoulder. Yeah.
But it was.
Can you give her a hug?
And this just happened about half an hour ago.
Very recently.
Is the little boy here that was here last time when we came to visit? Yes. We had some downtown. If the little boy is here that likes to play the piano, and you said your favorite song was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, can you make the REM pod light up for me? We've got the REM pod lighting up. It's almost tapping it too.
It's tapping it like a.
So it's tapping it. Okay. So are you playing
that work?
I did see that. I saw it work.
Did you see it before?
I just know.
It was the
I
first
just
time, yeah.
caught this, and it's
I
where
saw it
that
too.
REM pod
There's a
is.
little squirrel.
It's like he's playing
I'm
a
so
song.
happy you're back. So can you play me another song?
Now it just doesn't
Then it
hardly
was a
go
solid
off.
tune. Yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
I mean, it just stays
Can you
on.
play us another song? Okay. So the little boy that was here playing the piano for us, that was so beautiful song. Can you tell me your name? Bill? Ask again. Is your name Billy?
So, get on with it.
So Billy, can you play me another song on the REM pod? REM pod.
So our REM pod is going off.
Come again.
Come again. So, are you making my REM pod toy go off?
Yes.
Again.
Look at me.
Yep.
Billy, can you make these dowel rods point towards the piano keys? Now, if there's anyone here that is not nice, malevolent, I can't talk, I want you to go away. I'm feeling like there's somebody kind of interfering. Let's let Billy play a song.
Billy, can you play us a song again?
You guys singing.
We've heard them one. Do you remember us from when we were here before?
Hi. It was hi or hi. What if I sit down beside you on the bench?
Can you come sit beside Leslie and play the piano for her?
And play me a song?
Can you turn our candle on for us? Yeah, can you turn that on for us? It's really dark in here. We need some light.
Dim.
It's dim.
Dim.
There's the REM pod. So that's definitely.
Is it the one on the piano?
Yeah. So, do you want us to go ahead and turn the lights back on here?
No. Are you afraid of the dark?
Because I kept hearing it too, but I thought, it's down there.
Well, this is going to be interesting to see this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since we watched all this evidence here at the Talladega Library, it's up to you guys. Go ahead and.
I think I know what you think.
I know what I think. I know what I think.
Okay. We have another unanimous decision.